Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome each and every one of you for this Certificate in Digital Marketing, the Open Day, organized by the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. So once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of our participants, the students who are here to get the knowledge, to get that information that they require to pursue their education in this field. So once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you on behalf of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, talking about the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, SLIM is the apex body for Sri Lankan marketers, which was founded in 1970 and subsequently incorporated by an act of parliament in 1980, recognizing it as the national body for marketing and a not-for-profit organization. So we're mandated to uplift the marketing profession in Sri Lanka, providing marketing studies and conducting many national level events and projects as well. So SLIM is governed by a council of management and an executive committee headed by a president and composed of professionals from numerous industries in an honorary capacity. And then, of course, the CDM program, or the Certificate in Digital Marketing program. So ladies and gentlemen, CDM program is a preliminary course designed to equip students with the fundamentals of digital marketing and the online communication ecosystem. This is a 3-month course offering an opportunity for students to gain a conceptual as well as practical knowledge on digital marketing and online communication. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, with that introduction being done, I would like to welcome our distinguished guests who are present here today. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome Ms. Jayomi Lokuliyana, our guest speaker for today's event. She's the co-founder and the chief executive officer of zMessenger. Madam, we would like to welcome you for our CDM Open Day. And of course, I would like to welcome, as usual, we have one of our lecturers, Mr. Shanaka Ratnayaka, joining with us for this open day. So we would like to welcome him as well. And then, of course, Mr. Pawan Hettiarajgi, the manager, SLIM Business School, he's here to provide our students with those information that they require as well. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, let us now move on to the event. As mentioned earlier, we have an eminent personality joining with us today for this open day. She's the co-founder and the CEO of data-driven digital marketing company zMessenger, that has played a pivotal role in shaping the digital marketing industry in the country. She had major brands, corporate enterprises, agencies, and covering over 2,000 campaigns, interacting with digital customers across diverse sectors. She served on the executive committees of Chartered Institute of Marketing and has also been a lecturer for marketing and has lectured at several leading marketing schools as well. She earned her Master's of Business Administration from Postgraduate Institute of Management, University of Sri Jayewardenepura, and a postgraduate diploma in marketing from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. In 2013 and in 2014, she was recognized as one of the 50 most powerful women in the business by HLN magazine. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Jayomi Lokuliyana, the co-founder and the chief executive officer of zMessenger.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you so much for the management and the team of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing for inviting me here, because it's like a nice journey back in my memory lane, because I really well remember the almost 19 years ago when I started zMessenger. I think I found Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing as a great ground to promote or to kind of communicate about the new revolution that we brought about in mobile marketing. That was like nearly 20 years ago. And so since then, I think the journey had been remarkable, as well as slim. I have also grown. So I thought to kind of provide you with some of the reflections of my entrepreneurial journey of the last 20 years and what it made for me to choose the marketing as an industry for my business. as well as the evolution of marketing since then. So just to kind of give a small brief, I'm sure you may know or may not know about me, but basically I think almost in early 2000s, we saw a dawn of the mobile screen that's going to revolutionize the way we live, way we interact. Though many didn't believe because the mobile was such a simple device with a 2-inch screen, a monochrome screen. And so people didn't want to kind of believe this is going to make a huge impact. And not many could envision the future that or the current context that we are right now in 20 years ago. So I think that also kind of sets aside people who can imagine their future or imagine the future always stands out, or maybe they are the people who kind of go on reinventing that future. So what does it mean for a marketing career, or what does it mean for a company's brand in this context? So I think the biggest question now many corporate, whether you are a corporate brand or a consumer brand, many are thinking, what makes a brand last? Because I think if you look at the past decade, over the years, many brands have risen and fallen. And we all know, I think in the digital era, it makes a brand more, I would say, less durable. Because we all know Coca-Cola is started in 1892 or something. And it's like a strong brand that passed so many of industrial revolutions and still up to date, a very strong brand. But then there are brands which are like 90s, 80s brands like Kodak, Blockbuster, losing ground, not there in the market. And also even the newest digital brands, if you look at, their lifetime has become reduced. Why is that? Because I think we all know the impact of mobile-enabled digital world has made it like the consumers' habits have digitized. So that has not only because of the marketing, but also because of this consumer habit digitization, many business models have changed. So that's why we see good old cab companies are struggling to hold to their position in the face of a ride-hailing application. So you know all this. I don't want to tell because you have so much of examples in your own life or our day-to-day life, how our good old brands have replaced with new dawn of new generation of new digital brands. But having said that, I think still, if you, I was reading an article like a week ago, and it said how many Fortune 500 companies today who are there existed in 1995. So apparently, other than only 17 companies, the previous lot had been still existing. So it's not that all bad that brands have lost grounds. Like some brands have apparently adapted to this new digital trends, the changing consumer behaviors, and some have, of course, they were struggling to keep their position, and some have gone bankrupt. But the majority have done well. So that gives an idea what drives this. Why you need digital understanding of digital consumer behavior, I think, which is the fundamental of what Slim is trying to do in their digital marketing program, right? So be it, you could be I would say you could even be a professional, like even a doctor, or maybe you own a small e-commerce brand, or maybe you work for a large manufacturing organization, but cut across, the importance of understanding the consumer behavior and consumer journeys have made each of these different businesses, be it a doctor, be it a large manufacturing company or a small e-commerce entity. I think understanding that despite whatever the market they operate has become one of the most important elements for one's success. So that's what I felt. I think talking about a brand, how do we understand this changing landscape, and also how do we make our brands last? I think that's what the whole what I thought I would want to discuss. So let me kind of share, I think, what I felt, because as an agency from one side, I have handled brands from multinational agencies to even social missions, as well as the brands, like, as I said, like personal brands. So what I saw in them, what made them more successful is one. And the second one is, as a company, and also I'm not only known for zMessenger, I'm also kind of have introduced some of the B2C brands to the market. For example, I think 2 years ago, introduced a brand called MyMed, which is like one of the first aggregated medicine delivery platform, which is on e-commerce. So which is like a consumer brand, and also another corporate brand called Ad Studio, which is into total B2B programmatic advertising. So in all this, my experience of what matters to keep a brand alive, what it matters to understand a consumer's sentiments. I think these are the things I thought I would want to share, so that this will invite, irrespective of your background, the importance of studying digital marketing and also understanding the essentials of digital marketing. So let me start by saying one of the key areas that I believe, if you are having a brand, I think one of the key areas that one should focus on is basically the brand accessibility, because there are so much of brands in the market, but then how do we access them? How do we make consumers to access our brand? So it's not only terms of pricing, but are you also becoming channel agnostic? What I meant was channel agnostic, because say example, like in a retail context, like even a supermarket, if you are a channel specific, you will only focus on traditional store setup, right? That's the main access point if you're running a supermarket. But then we saw the pandemic, and even the post-pandemic, this whole landscape changed. The companies who had their online presence or online supermarket retailing experience as just icing as a frill became one of their core sales driving engines. So this is becoming what we call channel agnostic. You no longer identify yourself, okay, look, I'm a retailer, I should have a brick and mortar retail space. I should not give much of importance to any other channel where the consumers are. If you're consumers, you find them on Facebook Marketplace, then that's another place for you to consider in a serious manner, right? So understanding this accessibility, where you should be, or sometimes maybe not even your own e-commerce store, but you're present on somebody's a larger marketplace, like a marketplace like Amazon, or even in the local context, like Uber or Daras or Pygmy or some of those marketplaces. So these are the kind of, one might argue, hey, look, these are not only marketing decisions. True. These are actually decisions, I would say, business decisions, right? That is what is called the business models are even changing. So one area for a brand to last is also one pillar is to kind of increase the brand accessibility. And second, I think one of the core of all this is everyone talking is personalized consumer experience. I think this is where I would say my expertise, or my company's group of companies expertise would come in, because it has become so mandatory for many brands to look at the personalization and omni-channel experiences. What it means, because it's like your ability to derive, ability to capture, analyze, and utilize consumer data in a meaningful way, so that you can scale those insights, and based on those insights, you can change, or you can provide different experiences to different consumer segments. Because I remember good old time, like when I did marketing about good 20 years ago, like we were taught of segmentation, targeting, positioning, and so on. But that segmentation was more of we understand consumers by observation and certain data, And then we derived our own segmentation based on what we saw. But now, I think because the consumers are behaving on the all digital channel, every action is captured. So that's where the whole AI would come in, and it can basically create this profound profiling of consumers so that, that it can identify consumers at a very micro level. So that's why sometimes people find it so surprising that they are only thinking of a particular product and that appears on their news feed, right? So people think it's very creepy, but actually it's not being creepy, but this is the kind of advanced level of segmentation has gone into. So it has the ability to, rather than be reactive, it has the ability to be proactive and predict what's the next step of the consumer is, right? So this is where I think zMessenger, one of our capabilities when it comes to technology, this is where we have enabled many, some of the leading brands to kind of capture this data through what we call customer data platforms. So, and so this kind of sounds like, then you might think this sounds like very technical stuff of marketing. It is true, because now you are not going to be any longer just a 4P or 7P or 10P marketer anymore. This is about you are becoming a marketing technician. So as well as you understand the psychology of a consumer, you should also understand the technology behind to understand or capture that consumer psychology. So this is the requirement of this era, is for you to display the both sides of the world. So having a good grasp of marketing concept, good grasp of understanding actually psychology as well. I think that plays a great part of understanding who these consumers are, what they're going to do, and also using the technical tools and the understanding of analytics so that you can kind of predict their behavior and then do things that will trigger the purchase action. Because at the end of the day, all of us, of course, while building the brand, we are supposed to provide what we call return on investment, return on marketing spend. Because it's an era we all know, everyone talks about higher inflation, the cost has become one of the key determinants. So are we actually deriving the value? All those marketing budgets spent, are they actually giving a value back to the company? Does it kind of give a positive impact to the bottom line? So I think I would say 2 decades ago, as marketers, we were okay, or I would say if we had good KPIs on brand recall, your brand positioning, top of the mind recall, it's like we have done our job. And you have had like a nice creative, like, you know, even your after 20 years, you can recall, that means we have done our job. But now it's not. It's no longer, we can just get away by doing only that. Now the CFO comes, the CTO comes and say, no, what's the return? What kind of, how much did you spend for customer acquisition? Because I happen to kind of, we also work with few Australian brands right now. And the biggest questions they ask are always related to the quantifiable output. So they always ask basically what's the customer acquisition cost that you are incurring by doing all that, you know, and what's the conversion rate. So what's the kind of contribution you provide to the bottom line? So this is the kind of thinking now the marketers have to do. And so that is all about when it comes to personalization. And also thirdly, what we call credence. It's like brand is not always like rupee and money, the dollar value of that, right? Because dollar value partly based on financial performance, but also the part aspect, what we call brand equity comes in. Does the brand have a rhythm? So this is something I think most of the brands sometimes, you know, especially a time like this, when there's economic crisis, this is the time many brands want to keep quiet, or maybe this is the time they think we should kind of play not to lose. It can be one of the strategies, go defensive, but also this is a time, but still with ability, the ability, the kind of current financial ability, you still can keep the brand rhythm going on, because that is so important. Because I understood when I launched a brand like MyMed, I saw, of course, we were like the kind of savior brand during the pandemic, right? People couldn't go to their good old pharmacy outlets because they were closed, or they had like massive queues and they couldn't find the medicine that they needed. And then there was a nice email online store where they couldn't see a pharmacist, but they were always contactable and we could get their medicine faster. So we were being so much loved, and people called us and said, like, you all are the saviors, because, you know, it's getting the medication for their critically ill patients was like one of the key things. But now the whole pandemic is over. Okay, that kind of craziness to get medicine still there in a different context, because medicine is not in the market right now. But that doesn't mean, because that whole consumer euphoria is over, that we should keep quiet. So this is the time as a brand, what I was talking about, the whole brand, the credence, to keep to keep the rhythm despite the different times or the different conditions in the market. So with these three things which I have seen with my experience, I think this is what has helped, as I said, many brands to ride during the different turbulent periods, ride during the disruptions, and to be successful even up to today. So, and as a digital marketer, I think it has become so necessary that we are equipped with the right skill set. As I said, not only the understanding of the fundamentals of marketing, but also understanding consumer psychology, as well as the technology that enables us to basically drive those consumer journeys across different platforms, has made this career one of the most sought after career in anywhere in the world. So it is a right choice to be decided to kind of, even I'm sure all of you all who have joined is because you have basically made that or contemplating the decision to learn about digital marketing. So it has become imperative for any profession to kind of have the fundamentals of digital marketing in this era. I just want to end this with one tiny recent example, where I think because right now, since we also have started or kind of catering to more of Australian-based clients, it was very amazing to see the Australian medical professionals. They want to identify themselves as not, for example, not as GPs or not as dentists. The dentists are now calling themselves dentalpreneurs, right? That means dental entrepreneurs. Why? And the basis for this shift, they say, because it's not enough that you know about dentistry. You need to know about your patients who are the customers, and how do you kind of make your dental practice a business? How do you understand beyond when they come for just a root filling or something, but beyond that, can you increase the lifetime value of your customer or the patient? And what more you could understand by looking at their behavior? Can you adopt customer relationship management platforms to keep your dialogue, or to ensure they come back whenever they have a different need? Or how do you even create needs, right? So this shows, so digital marketing is no longer kind of confined to a brand management department, right? It has gone to the board level. So because these are like more driving decisions we have to take, because the digital marketing will give the insights, but if you have to change your business model, that's something that C-level would get involved to. So I think most of the clients that I have seen who have been successful have done this seamlessly at a very short time frame. They never took such a long time to make decisions. So that became one of the key things. And even relating to my context, if someone asks what is zMessenger doing, because if someone remember me from early 2000, they knew me as mobile marketing. But if you ask me now, I just don't only provide the mobile marketing. I do provide digital transformation services coupled with digital marketing, as well as new age technologies such as programmatic marketing, so that it helps to identify the consumers online, their behavior, and then placing your ad online. So my business has evolved. So this is the ideal time. I think if anyone on any profession wants to uh, kind of understand the sentiments and create a brand that lasts forever, or last at least for the next 2 decades, I think this is one of the key qualifications or key learning one must embark on. So with this, I would like to thank Slim for inviting me, and I hope I gave a kind of glimpse to the whole digital marketing world and what lies ahead. And with this, I'd like to say thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jayomi Lokuliyana, for joining us for this Certificate in Digital Marketing Open Day, and of course for sharing all that information, the knowledge, and of course your experience with our students today. So once again, thank you, and we hope to see you soon as well. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, let us now move on with the proceedings of today's event. And next up, we have the lecturer's message coming up. And to deliver the lecturer's message, as I mentioned earlier, we have one of our lecturers from Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. He currently operates in the capacity of Senior Manager Marketing at Freeme Digital Bank, powered by Nations Trust Bank PLC. And his current portfolio includes planning, monitoring of all digital media campaigns for both brand building and performance-based campaigns using digital channels, along with maintaining a robust CRM platform to continuously engage existing customers and drive business objectives. He's also a visiting lecturer at the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing for the digital marketing programs, both certificate and the diploma level offered. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Shanaka Ratnayaka, lecturer, Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing.
Right, good afternoon. Thank you, Oshan. Thank you, Oshida, for the introduction. So let me take you through a glimpse of what you're about to get into, right? So I think with what Jayomi mentioned a few minutes ago, you got a holistic view of how the ecosystem, the digital economy has evolved and how it has affected the business models and how organizations operate within the current situation. So I'm sure we've got a good idea about it, with what we've listened in the previous session as well. So let me take you through what you're actually going to go through in this program, the certificate level program for the next couple of months. So I would like to tell you from the beginning, right? So this is something that I tell everybody who is interested in the field of digital marketing and wants to or plans on making an entry and then believes on improving the knowledge that they have and gather new knowledge, especially in the field of digital marketing. So don't get panicked. So currently, what in the economy that we are in the space that we are in, there isn't anything called digital marketing anymore, right? So you might be surprised as to why this person, who's also a lecturer in this panel, he comes and tells you for this program there isn't anything called digital marketing. But believe me, that is the fact, right? That is the fact. The reason is in today's context, we are living in a digital world. So in that context, right, what we are actually doing is we are marketing in a digital world, right? So back in the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, yes, digital marketing was a buzzword and everybody wanted to get on board, right? Where Facebook advertising and Facebook or having a Facebook page and platforms like Google Plus, which are not even in existence anymore, came up. right? And then all sort of website developments, all those were buzzwords, and then things were popping up, pretty much everywhere. And it was a new thing to get on board, and down the line, businesses who were not on board had actually ended up not being in business also. So coming fast forward to this context, the world has become digital, as in the consumers have become digital, our production processes have become digital, our delivery or business processes have become digital, business management has become digital, right? And also different things like working has now become digital, where work from home concepts and remote work is now a general thing and not a specialized thing, not a special thing. It's not a fad anymore. And things like online education, because all of that has contributed, and today we can successfully say the world has completely gone digital. So coming back to the marketing side of it, all what we got to do now is understand, like I completely agree with what Jayomi said, understanding the technicalities within digital, right? Because it's not only understanding the platforms which are available, but also the technicalities within those platforms, because it is going to take you along the journey. If not, we will be limited in terms of our movement, and we can only do a limited amount of work, right? So marketing in a digital world is where we are. And again, another reason for me to tell you that is the whole principles or the fundamentals of marketing, right? Going back to the ground level, the basics, right? Which falls down from segmentation, targeting, and positioning, the STP, right? This is still there, right? And now with what I said before, the market has become digital and we do marketing in the digital world. Our understanding of segmentation, targeting, and positioning has become easy to be tracked and more transparent with digital technologies, which means our segmentation is more clear and we have a lot of tools available for this. Our targeting is pretty much very granular, like Jayomi said in the previous session. You might think of something and the following day you will be seeing an advertisement on your newsfeed. To that level, the amount of targeting and the amount of positioning and the granular level of positioning, amount of activities we can do using digital platforms to position the brand the right place where we want the brand to be placed is now enabled, which is why we believe digital is the enabler. So this is the technology that we have, the platforms that we have enables us to do the above STP more efficiently, more effectively. And when it comes to programs such as these, and then where you have shown interest on getting your knowledge, improved, right? It means that we are going to fulfill the next part, which is the digital talent, right? The digital talent and the exposure and the experience in order to market in a digital world with the use of marketing fundamentals, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning by using digital platforms. So what I would like to tell you is, as you see in the picture, right, a setting up of a solid foundation, right? A setting up of a solid foundation, just like you're building up a apartment or a building or a complex, right? Your foundation has to be set strong. So again, going back to the previous point, where the world is digital and there's enough and more technology available out there, which sometimes could also take you overboard and sometimes might confuse you. What is the technology am I supposed to use? How am I supposed to use it? Right? Am I doing the right thing? So these probably might be, some of the questions that might pop up in your heads right now. So after you complete this particular program, we are going to go through a summary of the context, right? You will be able to set yourself a solid, strong foundation to build on top of that. So by doing so, you will get a clear understanding and in-depth understanding of the fundamentals or the basics, right? Basics in terms of available technology, the tools, the platforms, and the strategies which can be incorporated with those digital platforms. The basics of that, right? will be something that you are going to be left with after the program is completed, right? Which in the end helps us pave the way for the future, which is probably if you're planning on increasing your knowledge further, moving on to the DDM level, the diploma level programs, and also the particular certification or the qualification that you can get through Digital Marketing Institute, right? I think once you complete the CDM program, you will be eligible for DMI Essentials program, right, where you'll be given a concession on the matter as well. So your class representatives would be able to take you through that later on. So let me get on to the next slide, but let me highlight on the importance of this. The foundation, getting to know the basics and allowing you to pave the way for the future is important. So that is what we will be covering within this module. So as you see, the whole digital strategy, right? Digital strategy comprises of three key important things, right? But on the outset, what you would see as a user or a general consumer or a marketer in this case is what happens in the outset, which is what actually goes on the SMSs, WhatsApp messages, MMSs, the social media posts, the Facebook ads, Twitter ads, and then whatever goes on the other social networks and different advertising channels, and then what happens on the website, right? And then what happens on content marketing, right? What happens on emails, right? This is what you see on the outset, but let's not limit to just thinking of what you can do in the outset, right? So probably where we believe digital marketing doesn't get successful if we'll just look at the outset and then think of the channels available only and try to implement campaigns. A lot of people make that mistake, but we're going to get through that. We're going to learn how the knowledge of these platforms, right, which you will learn in the course of this program, can be incorporated into the overall digital strategy, which cascades from the organization to the business to the marketing strategy, and where the platforms fit in terms of digital strategy. Because whatever said and done, digital strategy consists of three main elements, right, which is your content, right, which is the next being data as in data collection, and then the analysis of that data, right? So most of the time, without us going through the whole journey of developing a strategy, we end up thinking what we can put as a social media post, what we can do as an email newsletter, what we can put up on the Facebook, on the website, what can we do with our WhatsApp messaging to our consumers, right? Just the communications part, But we sometimes fail to think, right, there is something inside the whole element of doing that piece of content. Yes, content is a part of it, but how can we gather data from the website after people come onto it? How can we gather data in terms of what people do in our mobile applications, right? What they do, what pages do they browse? Can that data be incorporated into my next set of campaigns or my budget optimizations? All of that. So without simply thinking of doing a Facebook post and then doing an email campaign, what happens here is what matters the most, right? That is where your ROI and you can answer in terms of justifying your budget, which we all face in today's context. So let me summarize you this. Throughout the course program, you will get detailed understanding of these channels which can be used on the outset, and also going back to my previous slide, this foundation and understanding of the basics, right, of connecting it with the digital strategy is something that you need to get out of this program and make sure it is done in your programs, and you understand how, example, social media connects with my overall digital strategy. What are the data points that I can collect from social media? What are the points or data that I can use by analyzing in order to optimize my product or the processes or the pricing or the promotions that I do in my product, right? Directly affecting to the marketing mix. What can I do with those simple Facebook posts that I'm going to do, right? Which is a part of the overall digital strategy. So again, summarizing it, don't worry, you will get to know everything about what is on the outset. What matters most is how the level of understanding of how those channels on the outset can be linked to the digital strategy with the use of content, data and analytics is what matters most. So make sure we get the gist of it and not just simply looking at it from the outset by the glamour in terms of the campaigns done, the technology used for those campaigns, not that. How it links to that digital strategy is something that we need to build up on as a result of the program. So my final message to you all, be curious, ask questions, and most importantly, as people or as students within the digital marketing space, please use search, right? So if some of the things you might get to know for the first time, some technical jargon that you might hear for the first time, please make sure you do a simple Google search, because that is in terms of consumer behavior, the primary thing that is done before doing or before entering the path to purchase. Customers from a custom point of view, they go through the stages of researching, right, and understanding of the product and comparison, and that is all done through search. So same thing, let's apply to our education also. So be curious, that is asking questions with the resource personnel that you meet down the journey, and also think of ways how it connects with the digital strategy and then the organization's overall objectives as well. Whatever campaign or case study you see within the outset of the channels that is available for us to use, and make sure, again, be curious, ask questions, and please use search, and build up on those points that you get in the course of the journey. So thank you all for joining in, and wish you all the best. And I hope to see you in the next set of activities down this program. So thank you all. Thank you, Slim. Thank you, Pawan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the information. Yes. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us now move on with the proceedings of today's event. So next up, we have the program brief and the vote of thanks coming up. And to deliver the program brief and the vote of thanks, I would like to invite Mr. Pawan Hettiarachige, Manager, Slim Business School.
Thank you, Oshada. Hope you can hear me. Oshada? Oshada, you can hear me, right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So, good evening, all the students. On behalf of the Slim Business School, once again, I warmly welcome you all for the second intake of Certificate in Digital Marketing for this year, 2022. And we have successfully completed the first batch for this year, the first intake, and we have received very good feedbacks from the students about the expected learning outcome. So I am very happy that we are going to start the second intake for this year from next week onwards. And I know that most of you have joined for the today's session with the hope of receiving the more information about the qualification and especially why you should learn the digital marketing. So up to now, you have been listening to the two great speeches delivered by the guest speaker today, Ms. Jayomi, and as well as the lecturer, Mr. Shanaka Ratnayaka. So I think now you have a good idea about why you should learn digital marketing, especially in the current business context. It's an essential component you need to learn about the digital marketing. So if I'm to introduce myself, I am Pawan Hettiarachige, Manager, Slim Business School. Before moving on to my presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction about the institute, SLIM, Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. And the SLIM is a national body for marketing in Sri Lanka, incorporated by an Act of Parliament in 1980. This is a principal body which organizes many national events in Sri Lanka. I think you may heard about these things, SLIM Canter People's Award and SLIM Digis and the NASCO, National Sales Congress, which is the premier event which recognizes sales professionals in Sri Lanka, and also government marketing. And there are a lot of annual events lined up in our events calendar. And also apart from that, we are conducting the prestigious education programs. At the moment, there are 18 prestigious programs in our product portfolio. And we are conducting these programs in order to develop the competencies of the marketing fraternity in Sri Lanka. So now today, you have enrolled for the certificate in digital marketing. And this program is specially designed for the individuals, those who wish to obtain a basic knowledge in digital marketing with both practical and the theoretical knowledge. So in my presentation, dear students, now I will focus about the registration process and the program content and the assessment criteria. So let's move on. And here the first point is the registration process. So at the point of registration, you need to submit the NIC copy and your photograph and the education certificate copy. So this has to be submitted at the point of registration, and then you will be given a unique registration number. So that registration number will have to be quoted in all the corresponding with the institutes in moving forward. For example, the registration number includes the 10 digits. So I think the students, those who have registered so far for the program, should receive the registration number. If not, kindly contact the SLIM officials and get your registration number. And even in the moving forward, when you log into the classes, definitely you need to enter your registration number, since we are tracking the attendance, and as well as when you're making your payment and when you need to check your results in the website, the exam portal, definitely you need to enter the registration number. And the next slide is the class schedule. I think as you already know, the CDM classes will be held on only Sunday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. the fully online through the Microsoft Teams. And today we are conducting the inauguration for the program, and first class we have scheduled on 19th June. Now I will share the class schedule with you all. Here you can see, I hope that everyone can see the class schedule in the screen. Carefully look into this class schedule. Here actually we have scheduled the first class on 19th June from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And all the classes we are conducting through the Microsoft Teams. And here the module 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, we have scheduled the classes, and the assignment submission date will be on 11th September and the final exam will be on 25th September. Here this is the class schedule. So SLIM has tries to change the class schedule and the time with prior notice to all the students, and kindly refer the class schedule. So I appreciate if you can reserve those dates in your calendar in advance. Moving on, here this is the class schedule and the program outline. In the CDM program, mainly there are 5 modules. The module 1 is an introduction to digital marketing. So, and the module 2 is search engine marketing and optimization. Module 3 is social media marketing, interesting topic. And the module 4 is introduction to analytics. And the final module is online reputation management and crisis management. So here you can see the we have actually we have given the more priority to for the theoretical from the first part of the program, module 1 and module 3, and the later part actually we have been focusing more on the practical impact of the qualification. This is the program outline, and dear students, I will not going to brief the detailed outline which is coming under the module 1 and 2 and 3 and the 5. So all these details available in the program handbook. So I will now share the program handbook as well. So this program handbook will be issued to the soft copy will be issued to all the students, those who have registered for the program. So usually we will share this the program handbook before the class commencement. So I kindly request from all the students to refer the program handbook. Here, this is the program handbook for the CDM program. So this program handbook includes the entire detail with related to this qualification. Here you can see now there are 8 sections, and the section 2 is program overview, and under the section 3 the registration details are available, and the section 4 is the detailed program outline. If you need to refer the syllabus, then you need to turn into the section 4, and the section 5 is assessment and evaluation, and the section 6 is assignment guidelines, and the section 7 is online exam, and the final is the completion of the program. So after completing the qualifications, then you may enroll for the diploma in digital marketing as well. Here, this is the program handbook. You can see there are a lot of informations are available in the program handbook. So once again, I kindly request from all our students to refer the program handbook very carefully before attending the classes. And this is the assessment criteria for the CDM qualification. You can see in the screen now. Assessment of this program will be through a multiple choice examination and the case study. It's actually the group case study. So students will be grouped during the session, and we have allocated 30 out of 100 for the group case study, and the 70 will be allocated for the online examination. And the maximum amount of the marks for the case study allocated for the assignment will be 30, and all assignments will be marked from 100 and will reduce to 30. So this is the assessment criteria for the qualification. This is the established grading system for the CDM qualification. So if you have scored more than 75, then you will be awarded the merit pass, and between 65-74 good pass, and between 40-64 ordinary pass. Less than 30 is marked as the fail grade. So those are the important deadlines, dear students. Actually, we have already included all these deadlines in our class schedule, but I will repeat it again. The assignment will release on 7th August, and the briefing session, actually we have organized a dedicated session to brief the assignment. So one of our lecturer will attend for the session, and he will give you the comprehensive briefing about the assignment. And you also can refer the guidelines, and please refer the program handbook for the more guidelines of the assignment. And you need to submit the assignment on 11 September. So Slim will share the more details in due course with regard to the assignment submission. And admissions will be issued on 18 September, especially for the students, those who have submit the assignment. Final examination will be held on 25th September, and it's actually the 2-hour exam from 9:30 AM to 11:30 AM. The students, those who have successfully completed all the components of the qualifications, then they will receive the certificate at our annual certification ceremony. So usually the certification ceremony will be held at the end of September in each year. So more details will be communicated to all the qualified students in writing in the future after completing the qualification. Here you can see, so these are the ceremony which we have conducted for the previous year. So completed students, they can collect their certificate at the annual SLIM certification ceremony, which is the second most important academic event of Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. And also, dear students, we have appointed a dedicated person to manage the program. So if you are joining from the SLIM Colombo Business School, please contact Miss Dilukshi. So she will be getting through you all during the program, and her mobile number is 07036662177, and the email account is cdm@slim.edu.lk. And if you are joining from the Candy, sorry, please contact Miss Rasika, and her mobile number is 07032644499, and the email account is rasika.p@slim.lk. And if you are joining from the Matara Business School, kindly contact Mr. Shashika. His mobile number is 07032227949, and the email account is shashika.n@slim.lk. So those are the details which I need to share with you today during the inauguration. And thank you very much, dear students, for selecting the SLIM to learn digital marketing. And as I told previously, so now today we are conducting the inauguration for the qualification, and from next week onwards we will commence the coaching sessions. So interesting students, they can even enroll for the program now. So we have very limited seats available up to now. So kindly contact the SLIM officials to get registered with the qualification. So we will commence the classes from next week onwards. So we will share all the important details with regard to the classes through the email which we have already provided to SLIM. So thank you very much and have a great day. Thank you, Oshada.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Panhetya Rajagiri, Manager, SLIM Business School, for providing all that information for our students. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, we would like to conclude today's session. So once again, thank you for joining us for this Certificate in Digital Marketing, the Open Day. We would like to extend our heartiest gratitude to our guest speaker who joined us, Ms. Jayomi Lokuliyana, the co-founder and the Chief Executive Officer of zMessenger, and then of course Mr. Shankar Ratnayaka, Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, one of our lecturers, and Mr. Panhetya Rajagiri as well, the Manager, SLIM Business School. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining with us, and have a good day and stay safe.